It's here, Asia's apocalypse, the shocking crisis of water, food, and energy. Welcome to the parched continent of Asia, where the looming water crisis is no longer just a concern, but a pressing reality. As the region grapples with the worst drought in recent history, millions of people in Syria and Iraq are left scrambling for every last drop of water. The shortage is so dire that experts warn that the situation is likely to worsen with no end in sight. Today, we're going to be discussing the critical issue of water security in Asia. As we know, water is a basic necessity for life, and a water crisis can lead to a food and energy crisis as well. This is what you'll see in today's video. We'll be exploring the factors contributing to this crisis, including inefficient irrigation, industrialization, environmental factors, and climate change. We'll also discuss some possible solutions to address this issue. The culprits behind this catastrophe are many, from a lack of proper water resource management to the overuse of groundwater by some of the world's most populous nations, like India, China, Nepal, Bangladesh, and Pakistan. The problem is complex and multifaceted, with these countries alone accounting for almost half of the world's total groundwater use. It's no wonder that the region is facing its worst water crisis in years. The challenges that Asia is facing are so severe and so intense that many believe that the lack of water will become the most significant threat to its very existence. As the continent struggles to find a solution to this life-threatening issue, one thing is clear: the water challenge is plaguing the region, and it's high time that we come together to tackle it head-on. Some say that if left unsolved, the crisis would lead to the collapse of Asia as we know it. That's a daunting thought, but it's not all doom and gloom. We are here to unpack the facts, explore the root causes, and examine potential solutions to this complex and pressing problem. The headline on the United Nations Asia website says it all: the water crisis is a matter of utmost urgency. So let's set aside the brooding and get down to business. What exactly is the Asian water crisis, and why is it happening? We'll take a close look at the forces behind this crisis, from overpopulation to climate change to inadequate water resource management. But we won't stop there. We'll also explore the potential solutions that could help Asia avoid disaster. Can technology save the day? Will cooperation between nations be the key to success? And what are the ramifications of this crisis on everything from public health to political stability? Yes, you heard that right. There's a real shortage of water in the Asian region, and it's causing major problems for countries like Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, China, India, and Nepal. Now, I know some of you might be skeptical. After all, Asia is home to some of the largest rivers and water bodies in the world. So how could there possibly be a water shortage? Well, the answer is both simple and complex. While bodies of water may exist, not all of that water is usable by humans. It's like being stranded at sea with nothing to drink but salt water. Sure, there's water all around you, but it's not drinkable. And that is precisely the problem that Asia is facing right now. Humans need fresh, clean water to survive, and unfortunately, that's in short supply. The limited supply of fresh water is creating a real risk to economies and livelihoods across the region, and if left unchecked, the consequences could be dire. So, let's roll up our sleeves and get into the nitty-gritty of the Asian water crisis. We'll explore the root causes of the problem, from overpopulation to climate change to poor water resource management. And we'll also look at the potential solutions, from the innovative technology to international cooperation. The Asian water crisis is not just a theoretical concept, but a real and pressing issue affecting countries like China and India. Despite the vast bodies of water that cover our planet, fresh water is a scarce resource, with only about 2.5% of the world's water being usable by humans. And out of that tiny percentage, only 1% is meant to be consumed by us and the animals we rely on. The sobering reality highlights the importance of water availability and access, two crucial pillars that we must examine to understand the challenges facing Asia. As we dive deep into the first pillar of water availability, we'll see how China's uneven distribution of water resources has led to water shortages in some regions while others enjoy plenty. And in China's urban areas, the problem is especially magnified, with more than 300 major cities facing water shortages. These are just a few examples of the complex issue that must be tackled to resolve the Asian water crisis. Get ready to be shocked as we dive into the dark side of the water crisis in Asia. China, infamous for its population, dumps thousands of tons of pollutants from various sources into its rivers, lakes, and reservoirs annually. But this problem is not exclusive to China alone, as several Asian countries contribute to the water crisis by following the same unhealthy practices. The economic ramifications of this water scarcity are astonishing. Due to water shortages in Chinese cities alone, an estimated $11.2 billion is lost in industrial output every year. This figure does not even include the cost to human health caused by water pollution. When combined, the figures exceeded $15 billion per year, and the problem is only expected to worsen in the years ahead. The irony is that China and India, both military superpowers, have poor systems that result in severe water struggles, unlike industrialized countries like Japan, Singapore, and Taiwan, which have fewer problems providing their populations with access to safe, fresh water. What's worse, as the water crisis intensifies, the consequences will become more devastating, especially for food security, which is a top priority in densely populated Asian countries. Experts are warning that freshwater shortages in the region will likely seriously constrain food production in the coming century. Agricultural activities will undoubtedly suffer as a result, with increased demand for agricultural products putting immense pressure on the market's needs. However, agriculture is highly dependent on an adequate supply of fresh water, making it challenging to meet the market's demands. The Green Revolution did increase crop yields, but it largely achieved these yields through extensive irrigation, with increased reliance on fresh water. Unfortunately, almost 70% of the world's fresh water supply is devoted to agriculture, making it unavailable for other uses. In Asia, this reliance is even more significant, with an estimated 35 to 40% of the region's cultivated land being irrigated, and this area produced over that. Inefficient use of water is making things worse, and you know that this is a ticking time bomb. But that's not all. Irrigation can be a powerful tool for increasing crop yields, but if mismanaged, it can lead to erosion, waterlogging, and salination of the soil, which makes it even less able to produce crops. Poorly managed irrigation can also result in water pollution and waterborne diseases, making the situation even worse. And if that's not enough, there's also the degree of industrialization in the region to consider. Industries require massive amounts of fresh water for boiling, cleaning, air conditioning, cooling, processing, transportation, and even production. As Asian countries maintain and grow their industries, they must use ever greater quantities of water, making the already meager water resources even more strained. And let's not forget about water pollution. Many countries routinely dump human and industrial waste into their rivers and lakes without any treatment. Asia in particular is insanely notorious for its water pollution, which is a major factor behind the dwindling availability of fresh water. And then there's global warming and climate change, which are also playing huge factors in the water scarcity crisis in Asia. Changing weather patterns can result in devastating droughts, which are ravaging South Asia just about every year. Agricultural land is being destroyed, and the population is becoming increasingly dehydrated with little access to clean water. All of these environmental factors come into play when it comes to water security in Asia, and they're all contributing to a crisis that seems to be getting worse every day. But the good news is that there are things that can be done to address these issues. It's time for governments, industries, and individuals to come together and take action to protect our most precious resource, water. In conclusion, the water security crisis in Asia is a complex problem that requires immediate attention and action. By addressing the various factors contributing to this crisis and implementing effective solutions, we can help ensure that the people of Asia have access to clean and safe water. It's up to us to take action now and make a positive impact for future generations. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.